Hey, welcome to the relaunch of Street Talk in 10, where I rant for 10 minutes about the positive impact gaming and esports are having around the world and how people are doing it and how we're going to do it. And we do it in one take. I'm not editing this. I don't have time and I don't have a professional editor. So we're just doing it in one take. Street Talk in 10. I'm Rob, Street Talk Leader Davis. And if you don't know that, I think you already know that. All right, today's episode, we are going to talk about the 4 pillars that make up the supports for the foundation of the opportunities in gaming in all ways, esports included, okay? But first we got to talk about the foundation. The foundation to me in gaming is this. It is borderless. It is universal. It crosses all boundaries that you could potentially set up in any way, size, shape, income, location, whatever. So it has in its genetic code the ability, I'm talking about gaming and esports, to reach across whatever barriers are out there, period. What an amazing thing. I've never seen anything that reaches, billions of people play games, video games, every day. Every day. I talk with people all over the world. That wasn't the case even just so many years ago. Okay, so the foundation is that gaming and esports has this potential of reach, right? Super exciting. Now, what are these 4 pillars that I'm talking about that help us achieve what I think are just amazing opportunities in the world of gaming and esports? And I don't just mean financial. Okay, so let's talk about them. Number 1. Gaming, one of the pillars, has the opportunity to create a sense of belonging. Everyone wants to belong. Everyone wants to feel as though they're a part of something. Now, with that power of belonging, also comes people that will use it and leverage it and weaponize it to isolate other people. Well, you don't belong. And I've never understood that. Let me just rant on that for a second. I've never understood the idea that you don't belong here. Now, if someone is destructive, toxic, whatever, and they're trying to get into your community, they definitely don't belong there unless they want to change their behavior. So don't get me wrong. But by that same token, there are people that feel like it's fun, it's attention getting, and somehow, I don't know, improves their world if they isolate people, right? And they kind of bully them out of places. If you try to do that, you really take out one of the main pillars of the foundation of the benefits of gaming and esports, in my opinion, because that one pillar is belonging. There is room for everyone. I understand, I guess maybe people feel like there's less opportunity for me if more people come into my world, and it's just so not the case. It's absolutely not the case, not in the world of gaming and esports. All right, so that ability to belong, you have to create it, whether it's your Discord, whether it's your stream, whether it's your chat, whether it's your content, whatever it is. Create that feeling of belonging. Okay, number 2. This is one of my favorites of the 4 pillars, and that is the ability to connect. People want to connect. We as human beings not only want to belong, we want to be able to connect. I want to connect with someone that I feel like I can relate to. I want them to be able to relate to me. I don't relate to everyone. Not everyone relates to me. But the ability to connect across the world, globally, because of technology now at scale, is incredible. So you can have someone, you got to understand too, not everyone games for, I want an opportunity in gaming and esports. I want to make money. A lot of people just do it because it's relaxing. And more importantly, a ton of people do it because it helps them through very difficult mental and emotional times. So think about that. If you can connect with someone that is doing something you want to do or is going through something you've been through that can help you get through it, that is an incredible power that gaming and esports has. Now, the 3rd pillar. So the first one, the ability to belong. You have to create an environment to belong. Number 2, the ability to connect with people. Now, number 3, and this is legitimate, skills to develop, okay? There are people that want to be able to make a part-time income, a full-time income, a career out of gaming and esports. I talk to them almost every single day when they're asking me questions about how you do it. So that connection in an environment where you belong now has the ability to share skills, and it's reciprocal, right? It's like not everything has to be sold. I'm kind of under the impression that there are so many tips and trick videos and how-tos and courses and things you can buy that we can glean enough information by sharing it back and forth to be able to say, hey, this is how I learned to do this. This is what I do. Let me share it with you. And the person ends up saying, hey, I also do this, and we all benefit. There are other ways to grow income. If that's your thing, there are other ways to improve outside of simply, I told you this was going to be a rant, simply paying for courses or, whatever. So the point is that ability to develop skills. And for some people, maybe they use gaming as a coping mechanism for the difficulties in their life. Not maybe, lots of people do. So if you connect with someone in that environment and they can say to you, hey man, I understand. I've been playing this game for a number of years and it has helped me and this is how I've used it and here's the community I'm a part of. I feel like I belong. I've connected with these people. You can have a skill set now that says this is how I use gaming, right? Not the income side, but maybe just the emotional, benefit side. This is how I use gaming. So that ability to develop skills across the board, skills that can earn you income, skills that can help you relax, skills that can help you develop the ability to cope with very difficult things in life, right? That potential is 100% all there. It's all there in gaming. Esports is, listen, let me just kind of rant on this as well. Esports is obviously a subcategory of gaming. So maybe I should separate it a little bit more and talk specifically about gaming right now. All right, so those first three pillars. Number one, a place to belong. Number two, people to connect with. Number three, skills to develop. So what's the fourth one? Because now we have three pillars. We could have a foundation. You guys, there are stools with three legs. This fourth one, I'm going to rant about because this is probably the most difficult to get across, as well as probably the most important: kindness. We live in an incredibly ugly world with a lot of what's going on that's public. There's a lot of good, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of toxicity and ugliness and cheaters and hackers and all that kind of, you guys know the whole story. Kindness is a superpower. Do you guys understand that? Kindness is a superpower. If someone is incredibly toxic to you, and we know that in the world of gaming, especially in esports, you see it a lot, there's a lot of toxicity, right? There's a lot of trolling. But here's what's really interesting that I've found. Kindness unlocks that power that they think they have in toxicity. And it's tough. It's tough to do. Sometimes, I have trolls that come into my chat. I have trolls that say negative things. And one of the most difficult things for me to do is to not say anything or respond. And it's not because I get angry about it. It's actually because I feel badly. I feel like if that person and myself could sit down for 15 minutes, have something to eat, and get to know each other, that almost all of that would immediately go away. But it's easy because people feel whatever it is, angry, sad, lonely, or whatever, to be toxic, or if they feel like they just like the attention they get by being toxic. But being kind disarms it, completely disarms it, if you can do it. And it's not always easy. I understand that. But being kind sometimes is just not, you guys have all heard, moms for centuries have said, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. And that goes back to the response of people that may be toxic or may be trolling. And sometimes, especially if you go on the offensive of kindness, meaning, hey, maybe we can look at this person's perspective a little bit differently. I had someone in one of my TikTok videos just today say, we get in games and every time someone dies, they're automatically screaming that, hey, that was a cheater, that was a hacker, and everything gets really negative. And I try to tell them, it doesn't mean they were hacking. It just means it might have been a good shot. It might have been a good play. And then when that person starts saying that, things start getting toxic against that person. And there's a lot of psychology that goes into it, but I just want you to know, if you can practice a little bit of kindness, even if the sliver, just to begin with, it will fundamentally change how the environment interacts with each other. But instead, there are people that love to trigger. There are people that love to try to get you to not be on that path. And that's why I think it's the most important of the four pillars, and why I think it's also the most difficult, because there is such opposition to kindness, but it legitimately and 100% is a superpower. All right, so let's just recap here really quick. Gaming has an ability at its foundation to connect. It's genetic makeup. I call it genetic makeup. Just the culture of gaming has the ability to reach and accept everyone in the world from wherever you are and whatever you are. It doesn't matter. We don't care. So we have to protect that. But in order to keep that there and leverage the benefits for the good of the world in gaming and the good that it can do, I'm sitting here thinking, man, I wish I could edit that, but I'm not going to because it's a one take. We have to build it on those four pillars, right? So we have to understand it. It's a place to belong. Create that. Number two, people to connect with for all the reasons I talked about. Number three, skills that you can develop for the things that you need personally. And number four, do it in kindness. If we do those things, we are literally going to change the world, change people's lives for the better in all things that we do. So there it is. There is my 10-minute rant on the positive aspects of gaming based on those four pillars, based on that foundation. Stay tuned. More coming. It's not going to be in... This is it. I'm not editing it. This is how it's going out. Stay tuned for the next episode. Love you guys. You're the best. Let's go out and change the world.